An epic of epic epicness indeed. This is just gonna... I'm just gonna warn you guys ahead of time. This is just gonna be 15 minutes of me gushing about one of my favorite movies with trailer trash at the end. But who cares? This is what it's about. So, hi everyone. I'm Grant, the movie and TV guy. I know it's late. I'm sorry. Circumstances are out of my control, but I'm here. And as you can see from behind me, it's a little different, you may notice, and it's because... Bam! It's Steelbook. It's not the original Blu-ray, but it's Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Right there. Right there. So, reason I'm talking about Scott Pilgrim. Why am I talking about Scott Pilgrim? Well, it's its 10th anniversary. Well, technically it's the 11th anniversary. It would have been 10, except that a little thing called the COVID-19 pandemic happened. But movie theaters around the world are reopened. Things are looking like they're maybe easing back to normal, at least in regards to that. Not as much other things. I'm naive if I say otherwise. However, because of this, Edgar Wright thought it time to bring Scott Pilgrim back to theaters for 1 week only, in Dolby. Fully remastered with a really terrific sound that actually helped me even notice things I didn't notice the first 100 times I watched this, and I saw it tonight. So, again in the theaters for what will be my third time in my life seeing this film theatrically. I saw it twice in its first run 10 years ago, first on the opening weekend, and I went tonight. So, let's talk about it. So, for those who don't know, and weirdly enough, there are a few people who still have not seen this film, and, all I have to say is, stop watching this video. What are you waiting for? Go on Netflix. Go to your theater, or better yet, if you don't want to leave, it's on Netflix. Just go watch Scott Pilgrim. How have you not seen Scott Pilgrim? It's so good. Scott Pilgrim is directed and co-written by Edgar Wright. The co-writer, along with Edgar Wright, is Michael Bacall, who also would go on to work on other really solid comedy flicks like Project X and 21 Jump Street. And it's based on the graphic novels by Canadian author Brian Lee O'Malley. What's the premise? Well, it's a classic story, really. Boy meets girl. It's a story of boy meets girl. Particularly, the boy is a Toronto-based garage band guitarist in a band where even though it's Mark Webber singing, it sounds oddly like Beck. For good reason. He's in a band called Sex Bomb. Yes. He's a big old nerd, as is the movie itself. It's a nerd fest. If you smiled at that, you get the reference. And one of the first lines of the movie is about the song being Launchpad and Quack. So basically, he's the boy, 22-year-old man-child, and that's what he is. I'm sorry. No one I should think. I love the movie. Scott Pilgrim is a very unlikable character for most of the movie. I just need to warn you. So Scott Pilgrim is his name, and it's a story of boy meets girl. In this case, a American delivery girl who uses subspace highways to travel, and her name is very colorfully Ramona Flowers, and she's colorful in the sense that she also changes her hair every week and a half, dude, get used to it, as she says. She's a delivery girl for Amazon.ca, and he falls in love with her hard. The only problem is he's dating a high schooler. Don't ask. Her name is Knives Chow, and she is actually the real sympathetic heroine of the film. She's played by Ellen Wong. And Ramona Flowers is played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and Scott Pilgrim is played by Michael Cera. So, the always terrific Michael Cera. So, he has to break up with his fake high school girlfriend, and that is Knives Chow, again, which is a great name. Who they joke about how she's a Chinese schoolgirl, Catholic schoolgirl. He's ridiculous, and he is. But if he's gonna date Ramona, not only does he have to break up with Knives, but there's another caveat. You see, what he discovers the hard way, after not answering a particular email, is that Ramona has a past. And the past, it says, we all have baggage, and he says, well, my baggage doesn't try to kill me every 5 minutes, and that's because Ramona has 7 evil exes. And that's right, not ex-boyfriends. She keeps reiterating exes. All of whom have superpowers, and, in order to win Ramona's heart, if he even wants it and doesn't want Knives actually, is to beat them in combat sequences that look suspiciously like boss levels of a video game, because this isn't just Toronto, this is the mystical land of Toronto, in magical realist surreal land of this movie, and it's delightful, and when he defeats them, they become a shower of Canadian coins, currency coins, and he has to battle from the bottom to the top of the heap of the 7 evil X's to win the young lass known as Ramona Flowers. I'm just going to come right out with it. The criticisms that some people have towards Scott Pilgrim are, I think, justified. A lot of the characters are intentionally kind of unlikable people, especially Scott Pilgrim. And I'm a little softer on the Ramona Flowers character because I don't think that she is I think she is a sympathetic character and complex character. I think that he's just kind of, she deserves better than him too. I think people quite easily try to villainize Ramona. I don't. I think that there is circumstances where you kind of understand where she's coming from. Whereas Scott Pilgrim, most of it is just kind of a whiner. But, at the same time, I just don't care. Sometimes you know a movie's flawed, and you love it so much that you just don't care. You just don't. I'm sorry, I'm just going to be real with you. I don't care. What Edgar Wright does with Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and I've read the graphic novels, is that this is a rarity, and this is not easy for me to say. This is a rare time where I think he has improved upon the source material, and I like the source material a lot. Because he's put it in the context of a film, a comic book, kept in the comic medium somehow and put it into film. I can't really describe it without you seeing it, but the layers of pop cultural sort of miscellaneous references in this movie are terrific, but they're not just member berries either. They're not just like fan service. They are integrated into plot in such a layered and funny way. Like, things you don't even notice, like, thanks to Corey Coleman, I didn't even notice until watching this again today that there was a Flash Gordon reference in there. The movie is it's not just comic books and video games, it's everything from indie rock bands, Plumtree, Beck, but it's also things like Bollywood musicals and, demonic horror flicks mixed with Bollywood musicals, and it's romantic comedies, and it's Seinfeld, and sitcoms, and laugh tracks, and it's like, all this stuff, along with... It's hard to pin this down into one genre. When people ask me, it's like, what's the best way to describe it in just one single genre? It's like surrealist rom-com. That's what Scott Pilgrim is, and that's what I stick by, because it takes somehow grounded problems. It kind of it's sort of almost like a film version of it. There's a show, I don't know if it's very, very underrated, called Man Seeking Woman, which used to be on FX, where it takes the insecurities of being an early 20-something, especially in the world of romance, and takes all those insecurities and exacerbates them into epic adventures. And that's kind of what this movie is. Yeah, it's also a power fantasy, and we all believe that when we get the right girl, or the girl we're in love with, and the inevitable X shows up, that we're ready to do it. But the thing is, Scott not only he looks like Michael Cera, but he can fight, and the thing that makes the movie so great is that it's just so funny, it's imaginative, it's witty. Every member of this cast, for the most part, has kind of gone on to do something else, and even if they haven't, they were great here. Kieran Culkin as Wallace Wells, who so could have easily fallen into, he's the roommate, which in a great running gag is, he's gay, Scott isn't, but he's sleeping in the same bed with Wallace and his many, partners that are different nights who are, there. It sounds gross, it sounds more explicit than it is. It's just kind of funny. The movie, anyone can really see this. There's not a lot that's really, vulgar in this. It's not R-rated. But the other thing that's really great about it is, not saying that that's a bad thing in and of itself, but, it's not played cheap. It's played genuine, just right. Everything is played just right. And the thing is that it's so funny, and even within scenes like that, there's references obscure, one of Wallace's boyfriends makes a reference to everything as obscure as my super ex-girlfriend with Uma Thurman. Look, I love this movie. It's quotable as hell. The music is great. They, some people have noted, and I'm gonna note it as well, that they say in the movie, Sex Bomb, it's our band, we're terrible. But they're not. The music is actually great in this. Brie Larson's in this, and she does a pretty terrific cover of Black Sheep by Metric in the movie. She's also quite good and gets some laughs as sort of Scott's own sort of pseudo-evil ex of his own, who used to be a nice girl but went to the dark side when she met Brandon Routh's character. And all these characters, you got people like Chris Evans in his last movie before Captain America, and he's just having a ball. This is a great movie. I don't know what else to say. I feel like any review of this that's going to take only like 12 minutes is not going to do it justice. Just watch it. You'll know what I mean when I watch it. It sounds like a lot of words when I say it. Just watch the movie. That's all I can really give it to this. And if you want to go see it for the first time even, go take a friend and go see it in Dolby. And or just watch it on Netflix and just have a ball. It's really good. I will say this, the Dolby aspect of the film, what worked for me is, especially audio-visually, it kind of helped me notice things I didn't notice the first 100 times. For instance, there's a scene, for those who know the movie, where they're in a club, and like, Ramona and Scott are talking, and there's all these little background details you don't notice right away in all of Edgar Wright's movies, but especially this, where he's talking about the people he's been with to Ramona right before another ex shows up, and they're talking about their baggage. After they're running with Brandon Routh, and he's talking about how it ended with knives, and he's trying to kind of dance around it, and I guess she overhears it, and in the background she goes, "No!" Because she's, like, desperately in love with him. I didn't notice the no. I honestly, and I've watched this movie a bunch, and I never noticed that, so, like, little details like that are great. Well, at least I forgot if I didn't, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. Look, I love this movie. I own the movie, I'm wearing a t-shirt, like, I love this movie. Just go see Scott Pilgrim. I don't know what to say. 5 out of 5 for Scott Pilgrim. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Just go see it. It's really good. It feels wrong to score it because it is a movie that is 11 years old. Just go watch Scott Pilgrim. Please go watch Scott Pilgrim. If this review can do anything, and my sort of rambling, incoherent review can do anything, it's to get you to watch it. Go watch Scott Pilgrim. If it gets one person to watch it, I've done my work. So trailer. So that's 5 out of 5 for Scott Pilgrim. Happy 11th anniversary, Scott Pilgrim. May, the cult continue to grow for another, decade or more. So, well, until time eternal. Just let's keep loving this movie because it's lovable. So, trailer trash for, yes, we saw it in theaters, so there were trailers in front of this reissue. So let's talk about it. All of them, there's not much to talk about. Dream Horse, again, we talked about this before, looks cute. Free Guy, looks good. In the Heights, this was, I think, even another new trailer. I liked it a lot. I really am excited for it. Cruella, again, I'm looking forward to it. Kind of sick of the trailer. I am looking forward to the movie, though. I'm just sick of the trailer. Profile, we talked about this in one other show. It kind of looks sort of like a pseudo-searching, Unfriended movie. It's done like a found footage, which I liked both those films. Just, Unfriended just fine. I love Searching. I thought Searching was, like, excellent and really underrated. Or at least I thought it was underrated because no one's talking about it, but that I know of. But it looks good, but it's sort of like based on a true story. I guess it's about like it's like a terrorist cell is like there's like a woman and she's like an agent of some organization. She's trying to lure this guy in who's like the leader of this dangerous terrorist group, and I guess she was a real person who actually was indoctrinated, and it's kind of the downward spiral into her becoming obsessed with someone who's going to like harm her. Interesting movie. It's called Profile. It looks kind of interesting. And then F9. Fast and Furious 9. Looking forward to it. I'm kind of sick of the trailer, but they're going to space, y'all, and I'm excited. So, and was there shawarma? Yeah. It's not much, but... Okay, I'm just going to spoil this, but it's not really a spoiler. It is one of the... This movie, and I've seen the shawarma... I saw the shawarma 10 years ago, even. Because I've been staying... I always stay through the credits. I always have. It is one of the cutest shawarmas I've ever seen, and I mean that genuinely. They have like a little chibi Scott Pilgrim. What do they call that when it's like this style? Like a Sprite, I guess you'd call it. Like this Scott Pilgrim. And they have the words "the end" in like the comic book font, and then he punches the word until it turns into coins, and then he, cute. And it's right at the very end after all the credits. It's like a little post-credit. Very cute. Alright, that closes the book. So, I promised I'd give you an announcement, and I'm going to very quickly. So, next week, I am planning on reviews of, at least on the movie side, I don't know fully what the TV is going to be, but on the movie side, planning on seeing, barring showtimes, I know at least one of these is opening, Wrath of Man, new Guy Ritchie action flick, looks fun, I really love Jason Statham, and Here Today, directed by and starring Billy Crystal. I'm really excited for it. Also, now this is where the big one comes in, but I gotta hurry. May the 4th is Tuesday, and I'm going to start, because of the Bad Batch, I'm going to do all of canon Star Wars, all 12 Star Wars movies in chronological order, as well as all 5 shows, not in chronological order. So it'll be a marathon. We'll see you soon. That'll be next time, and until next time, I'm Grant the Movie and TV Guy. I see it all, I'm happy to share it with you. Alright, love you all, appreciate you all. I love you all, class dismissed, I love you 3000. Go watch Scott Pilgrim, drop everything, go see it. Kind of one another. Thank you all. Take care. Bye. Have a good night. Bye.